Chair recognizes Ms. Norton for 5 minutes.
I thank the chair. I strongly agree with the inspectors general about the need to support the people of Afghanistan amidst ongoing economic and humanitarian crises, and to uplift Afghan women and girls whose basic human rights have been stripped away by the Taliban. It is critical that we provide financial assistance while isolating and condemning the Taliban regime. This new challenge requires a thoughtful and careful approach to delivering aid. While providing this vital assistance is not without risk, we must not turn our backs on our allies. Instead, we must work with the inspectors general and the administration to identify effective ways to enable direct assistance with appropriate guardrails. We must continue working on new solutions to provide the much-needed relief to Afghan people while ensuring this aid stays out of the hands of the Taliban. Now, Chairman Comer is holding today's hearing to focus on the events surrounding the August 2021 withdrawal in Afghanistan, and the chairman has made his position on the withdrawal very clear over the past few years. In an April 2021 interview, Chairman Comer said regarding President Biden's decision to complete the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan by September 2021, and I quote, "That's probably the first decision Joe Biden's made that I actually agree with. I strongly support removing all the troops from Afghanistan. I think that the American public has been ready to leave Afghanistan for at least a decade," end quote. And it wasn't just Chairman Comer. Several Republican members of the committee praised President Biden for withdrawing troops from Afghanistan. In March 2021, Mr. Biggs criticized President Biden for failing to withdraw troops from Afghanistan sooner, writing, and I quote, "You still suggest a May 1st withdrawal date isn't possible. That kind of thinking has kept us in Afghanistan for 20 years, end quote. In 2021, Mr. Mace stated on Fox News, "I've never been shy to disagree with the administration, but I couldn't agree more with bringing our troops home after 2 decades of war in Afghanistan, a policy former President Trump and now President agree on." Mr. Sopko, in your testimony today, you stated that while the Trump administration's decision to sign the Doha Agreement and the Biden administration's decision to follow through with the withdrawal were immediate factors precipitating the collapse of the Afghan government and its security forces, those decisions had antecedents that stretched to the beginning of the mission of 2001. Mr. Sopko, it sounds like it is your view that after 20 years in Afghanistan, the U.S. failed to build stable Afghan institutions that could survive the withdrawal of U.S. troops from the country. Is that right?
You're absolutely correct. That's what we found.
Mr. Sopko, you have been warning for years that this was the case, that Afghan institutions would not survive the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan. Is that right?
Yes, it is. Going back to almost as soon as I started in 2012, we've been raising concerns.
Today, my Republican colleagues who so enthusiastically supported the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan seek to blame the Biden-Harris administration for results of that withdrawal. I hope my Republican colleagues will pause their political posturing so that together we can work on learning the lessons that our country's 20-year involvement in Afghanistan teach us. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Before I yield to the next questioner, I feel compelled to respond. I think I speak for all three of us that you quoted. We supported the withdrawal, but we assumed that this administration had more competence in their ability to withdraw. We have the mightiest military in the world. They were up against the Taliban in flip-flops and 1970 era rifles. We felt like that this administration could have done a better job. And I don't think you can blame Donald Trump for this administration not cooperating with these IGs, which is very, very troubling. Chair